in my cipher, I revolve around scientists.
But yeah, man, we here though, we back, man. We here, man. Not to cut you off, you know.
No worries. So what's on your mind? I know you got a lot to say. You've always been a man that just had, you know, a lot of mental power going on.
It's funny you say that, man. But yo, what's on my mind is today's mathematics, you know? Today's pre-mathematics is power. You know what I mean? And my righteous name that I drew up through the supreme mathematics and supreme alphabet, I power a lot. You know what I mean? And power is your ability to exercise the will, whether it's physically or mentally. You know what I mean? Or power is the truth. And the truth is like the light from the sun. You know what I mean? Because that lets you see things for what they are, not for what they appear to be. You know what I mean? Because when I shine the light on something, I can see it for what it is. It's not in the dark no more. You know what I mean? They say everything is in the dark must what come to light. That's saying that you're gonna always find out the truth about the matter after a certain amount of time, because the truth is like the light. You know what I mean? It's the truth shall set you free. The truth is like the light that allows you to see. You know what I mean? So power is the truth, and the way that relates to your ability to exercise the will physically and mentally, right? Just look at it like this. If I'm a mechanic, right? If I have the truth and I understand the car that I'm dealing with, the mechanics and everything about it, right? When you have the truth of something, you can more exercise the will and fix it. If there's a problem with the car, I know exactly what to do. I know exactly what part to, you know what I mean, tweak, and exactly what tool to use to fix that. You know what I'm saying? So I have the power to exercise my will on a higher level when I have the truth about something. You know what I mean? So it's the same way when you have the truth about yourself, you can exercise your power on a greater level. You know what I mean? Because look at it like this. Even yesterday I was building, you know what I mean? Because yesterday it was culture, you know what I mean? The mathematics. No, I'm talking about supreme mathematics, right? Yesterday I was having a build with somebody, we was talking about that, right? And it's like, to take it back to that, right? For a second. Culture is your way of life, right? And it's like everything has a nature, right? But with today's mathematics power, if you don't know your culture, you know what I mean? Knowledge your culture, all being born of power, right? So if you don't know your culture, you're taking away the power from yourself. To make that make sense, it's like if you're a bird, right? A bird can fly, that's his natural habitat. His body is formed based on the gravitation and the temperature and everything in the planet Earth. That's what makes his body the way it is, you know what I'm saying? He's suited to live at that particular altitude. His bones is, you know what I mean? Because if he was too heavy, he wouldn't even be able to fly. So everything is properly shaped for it to be the way it is, and for it to exist the way it exists. And he flies and does what he has to do, you know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta go south based on the sun and boom boom and all of that, right? But if particular birds try to have a way of life and they just said, fuck it, we just gonna go underwater, try to swim underwater, they wouldn't be able to live. Because that's not the way that they're meant to live. You know what I'm saying? If certain animals that live up in the trees just try to just start living in the ground and shit in a whole different area, they might not be able, that's not conducive to their way of life, because that's not their way of life. You know what I'm saying? So that's going, like, all the powers that animal has to be able to move within its natural habitat, they become useless. And you can't use them now. You know what I'm saying? The bird that's a good flyer and all that, imagine it's not trying to fly, it's trying to do something else. Now it's not being able to use its natural abilities the way that it can, so it becomes powerless. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing as like man. When man acts outside of his nature now,
you lose your powers.
You see what I'm saying? Your natural powers and abilities, you know what I'm saying? You're not being able to use those. It's like you're trying to, and to relate that now back into like a day-to-day setting. It's like the person that has certain natural gifts and abilities, but they instead of exploring and cultivating that aspect of themselves, they just want to conform, and their ways and actions is just a reflection of what they feel everybody, like me moving along with the crowd, they're just conforming to whatever they feel like they should be doing, instead of living according to their natural, what's bringing them peace. You know what I mean? And they might have natural powers and gifts and abilities that they're not even activating and exercising, and now they have a feeling of like powerless. You know what I mean? They're like, you feel like they're out of control. They're not in control of their life. You know what I mean? Because they're doing everything according to somebody else. You know what I mean? They're not in control. You know what I mean? So they don't have the power. You know what I mean? Because they're not living their truth. So when you don't live your truth, you know what I mean? You take the power away from yourself. So just adding on to today's mathematics, power, you know what I mean? Power is also dealing with like force, energy. Because you think about power, what powers everything up? Force, energy, you know what I mean? And energy is what powers everything up, you know what I mean? And if you tie all these things together and draw up a deeper understanding from it, it's like energy and force. And then you have the truth, right? And the truth about everything is that everything is energy. Energy and vibes and vibration, you know what I'm saying? Like everything breaks down to energy. Like even us, we are the supreme form of energy put together that's aware of energy. Like we're energy that's aware of energy. Because you know, matter, everything, energy and matter, even when you break down matter is just, even the atoms is just composed like pockets of energy in a particular pattern. You know what I mean? Flowing in a particular pattern. It's a pattern of energy. You know what I mean? A recognizable pattern of energy. That's what an element is. It's the smallest unit of matter. It's just a recognizable pattern of energy. You know what I mean? So long story short, in that small matter is a tightly composed pocket of energy. So it's all just energy. So the truth about everything is energy. So it's like if you're in tune with your own energy, you'll be able to feel things that are out of tune. Like, and remember, everything, you are universe, you know, you are in tune with the universe, right? So if you're in tune with your energy, and your energy is in tune with everything around you, you'll be able to detect when certain things are off a little more easier. You know what I mean? Certain disturbance, some of these that's kind of off, the energy is off. The reason why you're able to detect these things, because like we're all energy, it's all vibe and vibration, so we're able to pick up certain vibes. Like that's why it's like, yo, this guy has a bad vibe. He has bad vibrations. He's just radiating bad energy.
That's interesting.
So that's like, and that's saying the truth about everything. Everything is just energy. You know what I mean? You have to be aware of the energy around you. You know what I mean? Or the energy within a certain situation. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're around in a certain situation and you can feel the energy starting to pick up. You're like, yo, fuck, stay around. You know some shit's about to pop off. You know what I mean? So you have to be able to be in tune with energy and to put yourself around the right energy. You know what I mean? Because you could be trying to do something and just you're surrounded by the wrong energy and that pulls you down. You know what I mean? Because people are like vessels of energy.
And how would someone get more in tune with their own energy?
Think about it like this. You have to know yourself to be in tune with your own energy. The bird has a nature. One, its mind is not as complex as ours, so it's like literally like compelled biologically to act according to its biological needs and certain things that it's compelled by, the gravitation to everything, like, you know what I mean? And so with that being said, with man now, we have a nature. And certain things we can't even like make ourselves act outside of our nature. Like, you know what I mean? We gotta eat, we gotta do certain things, you know what I mean? So mentally we have a nature. So to be in tune with yourself is to be in tune with your own natural nature. You know what I mean? Like if I just, it's not my natural nature to just eat another human. Cannibalism. Certain things are outside of our nature. That's like, I just took it to the extreme. It's fucked up, you know what I'm saying? But like,
it's real.
Yeah, you know what I mean? My nature isn't to stand around every day and just twirl in a circle. They'd be like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? Like, yo, that's what I do, I'm human. Like, nah, like, you know what I mean? There's certain things that we're naturally supposed to do. So when you're living according to your more natural way of life, that's you being in tune with your nature, but that's kind of like hard to do when you're always flooded with so much things that is other than self, especially living in the society and the civilization that we live in. And so it's kind of like you have to go back into like, what was my original people's diet? You know what I mean? How are we eating and strive to get as much on that as possible, extract and collect information, you know what I mean? So that you have the ability to act according to that, according to your own culture instead of somebody else's culture. You know what I mean? Because you can't even act according to your own culture if you don't even know what your own culture is. That's why it's like you have to acknowledge your culture. That's ultimately more the power, you know what I mean? You have to do the knowledge to what was your original way of life? What was your original nature? How did your people do it? Because something I came to the realization is that my whole life I was being taught everything from somebody else's point of view. Like, you have to think, like, for most people, everything that they've been taught about living, how to think about certain things has been given to them through a European point of view. You never heard what your own people had to say about social conduct and things of that nature. You know what I mean? Because you have your own culture and they have their own social norms and certain things that maybe if you apply those things into your life, it'll make you feel more wholesome rather than trying to fit into certain social norms that we don't even feel right towards you and shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, so long story short, so it's like everything's energy, getting in tune with your own energy, knowing how you are, and then boom. You won't be able to get in tune with your own energy unless you understand how you are and how you work as a system, your mind. So it's like certain things are happening to you, and how are you gonna be able to control and have power over yourself if you don't know the truth? See, I said everything is energy, everything is related, and then you have energy and you have the truth. And the truth is that everything is energy. We are the supreme form of energy. But if you there thinking that there's some fucking dude in the sky controlling everything, and there's some supreme guy in the sky controlling everything, whatever, then you're taking the power away from yourself to do what you need to do. So it's like if you can, long story, that's what it is. You're taking away your own power because you're giving the energy to something else, thinking that like, yo, that's what's power in the cipher. And then you're not realizing the truth is that you're the energy that's powering the cipher. It's not some mystical magic energy or whatever too. So that also correlates to that degree as well. And that's how the truth relates to your own power. Because if you don't have the truth, then you think the truth is that there's some almighty unseen, some spook that's unseen, controlling everything in the sky, like with the, you know what I mean? Ventriloquist joint and all of that. Then you automatically take the power away from yourself. So that's how the truth relates to power as well, you know what I mean? So it's like you have to come enlightened and have the light within yourself to be able to see for what it is and not what it appears to be. You know what I mean? And be the son of man, you know what I mean? Shine light on shit like the sun and be like, what is that? You know what I mean? Because you put certain shit out in the sun will just take off the color and show you that, yo, it was originally just one color, and this and all the colors that was like paid now will fade after a while and shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know what I mean? So yeah, power. All these things connect. So I'm be saying today, when you see me put on today's mathematics, and I say certain things like, yo, power is the exercise of the will, and it's like the boom boom. You can see that these things correlate. And there's a real truth about it too. Like when you think about it, it's like, damn, like that shit really makes sense. Like, you know, the truth is that I am the highest manifestation of energy. Therefore, I have the power. And here's the next thing too. When I think about power degree in supreme mathematics, I think about my hand. Cause how many fingers I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 fingers. That's power. And it's like, yo, the power is in your hands. To change shit and do what you gotta do. The power is always in your hands to do that. You feel me? You also have 5 powers, senses, like sound, smell, touch, and taste. These are your powers for you to ascertain the truth through the physical world. You gotta do the knowledge and look and hear and listen. You know what I mean? Something smells fishy. You know what I mean? You gotta smell. You know what I mean? And nah, that's not even something's wrong. You know what I mean? That's not even the A1. You know what I mean? Nah, I'm playing. You know what I mean? And you gotta feel. You know what I mean? And feel your way through situations. You know what I mean? So we have the 5 powers as well. You know what I mean? Power, yeah. Power is